I have been married for 15 years. I have known my wife since I was 8. We have 3 daughters together. 17, 14, and 11. I'm tired of feeling like I'm an outsider in my relationships with all of them. I'm just an ATM and taxi service to my kids. My wife hasn't kissed me in 6 months. She has not said that she loves me in 1.5 years. No matter how much I communicate, try to plan anything or do anything, it is always shot down, forgotten, or dismissed. I don't get angry and don't yell. I don't get physical. I like to splurge during birthdays and Mother's Day. I throw parties and give gifts and try to show how much I love them. I get a lukewarm, thanks, and if I'm lucky, a side hug that lasts 0.0001 seconds. This week was the breaking point. Father's Day. I wake up to an empty house. Odd. No note, nothing was written on the calendar, and nothing said beforehand. I send a text, and I get back. I took the girls out for a spa day, don't wait up. Then nothing, literally nothing. Dinner time comes around, and they get home. How their say was, it was fine. I ask what they would like for dinner. Nothing, we already ate at one of my favorite restaurants / cool, whatever. There is no mention of it being Father's Day. No, I love you, how are you? Nothing. Fast forward to Wednesday. Which was my birthday. Nothing. Literally again, nothing. I suggested plans. They get shot down. I suggested food. Nope, shot down. Ask about watching a movie, they are all too busy, they just sat on their phones doing nothing. Now to Thursday night. I'm in bed. My wife is next to me. She rolls over and says in a crappy tone, "Oh, your birthday was the other day. I guess you expect to have sex." That broke something in me, best of my memory of how it went down. I said no, I don't expect sex. At this point, I don't expect anything anymore. Her, what is that supposed to mean? So I started asking her questions. When was the last time we shared a kiss? Like a week? Nope, it was in December, and it was during her parents' holiday party. When was the last time we had sex? The beginning of the year? Nope, wrong, it has been over a year. She was adamant that we did it in February. I was dealing with my mom's health and her passing. So I said something like, "You may have had sex, but it wasn't with me. When was the last time you said you love me?" I say it all the time. Not to me, check your messages / you don't say it to me face to face. Well, you should just know I do. When was the last time we went on a date? Long pause. Her, you're being unfair. Emotions turned on fully. I was crying and raising my voice at this point. It asks her how? She can't answer. I asked her how wanting any sign of love from anyone in the house is unfair. If expecting anything for my birthday or Father's Day was unfair. She got an oh shit look. Yeah, you forgot that as well. I'm not an ATM, I'm not a taxi service, I'm not a punching bag. She asked why this was coming up out of the blue. It didn't. I have tried to talk to my family and again get dismissed or ignored. I brought up examples. I got an I didn't know you were serious. I didn't know it was such a big deal. I left saying something to the point of, if you want to pretend that I'm invisible and don't exist, fine, you don't have to pretend anymore. I left the house at almost midnight. On Thursday / Friday morning. Haven't been home since. I'm not sure what to do now. I'm finally sober enough to think, but I don't know what to do. First time drinking in over 15 years BTW, and I'm not going to drink anymore. I love my family. But I can't keep this up. I don't know what more I can do. I think they would be happier without me. They already act like I don't exist. I can't be the one who is blamed for everything. If I truly am the problem, then me not being there should fix it. I can't do it anymore. I've tried to be a good provider, a good partner, and a good dad. Never missed an event of our kids. Never prioritized work. I kept good hours so I could see them more. Took on more responsibility to better our life and future. But, it is never appreciated. It is never enough. I am never enough. I only have one message from my wife: I'm sorry for making you feel that way. We all love you, and we are here for you when you want to come home and talk. That is it. No other messages. No calls. Nothing from the kids. I feel like if they really wanted me there, they would try reaching out more. All of the kids have their own phone. I don't know what she told them. I'm sure they heard me raise my voice. Me raising my voice would have definitely got their attention, since I never do. I'm sure they heard me leave. I just don't know. Ada. Thanks, everyone. I did not think anyone would care. You have given me some hope and advice I'm going to look into. I don't know how to respond to a lot of the comments. I know how to just not in words. I'm going to try to figure things out more. I'm now 100% sober, so my mind, clearer. I'm going to start meeting with people on Monday and try to come up with options. Update 1. I have not been well. But I'm doing better. You guys have helped me a lot, and it means more than you know. I was able to get help through my work. They have resources for both therapy as well as legal counsel. But somehow my boss found out I was reaching out and now won't leave me alone, but that's unimportant. I know she only has good intentions. So far, I like the new therapist I was able to get an appointment with. I thought there would be a long wait list. She recommended a family / spousal therapist as she focuses more on individuals. I talked to them as well. I got referred to divorce lawyers. I don't want to use them, but I had a talk with them and got an idea of what that route would be like. I'll be like 70% screwed. But we are in at fault state, so if it turns out she is cheating, I'll be okay-ish. My kids did reach out after a few days worried. I told them I'm fine, do truly love them, and miss them but needed space and time. For the first time ever, I missed some of their extracurricular activities. I think that is what made them understand something was really wrong. Some other family members/friends noticed and started asking questions to all involved. My kids also mentioned how things were not the same without me around, and my wife was struggling. My wife reached out a few times just checking in, apologizing, giving me updates on things, and a couple of the times, she asked about the 4th of July. We usually host a party/barbecue. I said I wasn't interested. But, I said that her and I needed to talk alone in person. That happened the weekend after the 4th. Apparently, she was planning the 4th as a surprise b-day party for me, after I had left, to make up for forgetting my birthday. But I ruined it as I didn't go and wasn't interested. When we met up to talk, she wasn't alone and brought the kids. I was happy to see them. They seemed happy to see me as well. But I asked for my wife and I to talk alone. When I pointed this out, she said the kids missed me, and it was fine. We can talk with them here. I believe it was more of a manipulative move. I explained that this was another example of how my feelings or wants get ignored and cast aside. How I have been ignored for a while and how that is not right by anyone. She kept apologizing. I said while I acknowledged the apologies, I don't accept them. Most of the apologies, to me, feel like they are not real. Such as her initial apology of "I'm sorry you feel that way." Or they sound forced/just saying what she thinks I want to hear. Actions speak louder those empty words. I also said that she is setting an example and expectations on how I'm treated and how our daughters will see and treat me in their future relationships. As of now, no one should be treated this way. I think at this point, my wife regretted bringing the kids. My 14-year-old took my 11-year-old for some snacks. My 17-year-old stayed. I flat out asked if there was anyone else. If she was cheating physically/emotionally or otherwise. She looked like I had just slapped her. She said she would never do that. I asked why she was so adamant about us having sex if February, daughter left at this point, when it has been longer. Why has every part of our romance died within a year span from her part? She didn't know. We talked for an additional 20 minutes. I finally took out 2 folders I had with me. One was a separation document, not quite a divorce, but halfway to it. The other was therapist referrals for individuals and couples. I needed her to understand how serious the situation was. I asked her to look over each other and ask herself what she wanted. But she had to make the decision and schedule the appointments. I explained that I'm done living this way, and if she chooses to stay with me, then there are going to be major changes occurring both in our relationship and at home. I love the woman I married, had kids with, and built a life together. But I don't know where she went. My kids came back, and my 11-year-old was mad I wasn't going back with them that night. I gave my wife time. She contacted me the next day, saying she has made appointments for herself and for her and I. She explained that she set up some bi-weekly individual therapy and we have our first couples therapy early next month. The reason for the wait was so she could establish/work on herself first. I have been using the gray rock method towards her since the initial incident per yours and my therapist's recommendations. So, it's still a work in progress. I'm not in as dark of a place as I was when I first posted. Some things are better than it was. I'm willing to put in the work, but it won't be one-sided. There is a plan moving forward, so that's A+. I have been home for a week now. I am sleeping in a different room. Some changes have been put in place already, but time will be the real test. As a side note, on the second night of me being back, she actually tried to initiate sex, but I said no, that it wasn't the time or place for that. We had a lot to work out before that can happen. As always, peace, love, and chicken grease. After the first post, I planned and almost committed to ending things that night. I think they would be happier without me. They already act like I don't exist. I can't be the one who is blamed for everything. I can't do it anymore. I kept going over and over in my head. If I was gone, then their problems would be solved. They could move on with a new dad/husband who they would love more than me. Who they would show more love than they have showed me. I was the cause of everything that went wrong in their life. My wife probably has a replacement that could just step in and be a real dad and husband to them. Something snapped me out of it. It still sounds weird, but it was as if I could see/hear my 11-year-old. She has been the one who has made me feel loved, wanted, and cared for throughout most of this. Both before and after I left. From what I now understand, my wife was pushing for them to give me space. But my youngest wouldn't accept it. She kept pushing for them to reach out, track me down, and find me. She had a weird feeling. I initially hid the fact that I was to the point of ending things to my therapist. After my last update, I told her. She could tell I wasn't as open with her until that point. That changed the tone of our sessions. I have a better understanding and more tools I can use to recognize and help deal with those negative and dark emotions. With that came some diagnosis. On to my wife. She did commit to her individual therapy. I started to see some change in her. She has been treating me better. Things were going in more of a positive direction. I still shut down forward advances from her. I ND out her therapist was also telling her to stop and earn my trust and that we had to rebuild up to that. But that makes her feel unloved and unwanted. Ironic. I looked into it if she was cheating, and I found nothing. No text, messages, emails, unexplained expenses, weird locations, absences, photos, apps, nothing. So she is either really good at covering her tracks or she didn't cheat. I expressed that if it ever came out, she did cheat on me, it was over. The first couples session was a long one. The first hour was individual with me. Then my wife. Then both of us. It was useful and helped, but not much. Same with the second session, which was 2 hours together. The third was a shit show. This was just after I opened up with my individual therapist about my self-harm thoughts. I just opened up to men and told them everything. Where my head was at. My thoughts at the time. How close I came. What stopped me. How long I had thought about it. Everything. My wife looked at me with a sense of horror. She looked at me and started yelling and kept repeating, "How could I me/op be so selfish?" Therapist calmed her down, and I started talking again. I went deeper into how badly my wife and kids hurt me. That there is no way she didn't know about Father's Day or my birthday. How I still suspect that she has been cheating on me. How the dark thoughts started after my mother passed away and my wife stopped being my wife. I don't know what happened to my wife. The woman I loved disappeared. She has been gone for a while/checked out. My wife was loving, playful, honest, trustworthy, a fantastic partner, and the love of my life. I can't be with this stranger she became. I just went off and unloaded. The therapist said we needed a break to cool down and meet back in 5 minutes. I walked out. I was being immature, childish, and an move. When I cooled down enough, I saw I had a bunch of missed calls and texts. My 17-year-old ended up picking me up since my car was at home. It was the first time she saw me actively cry. I think that got her to understand how much weight was crushing me. How much their actions have caused me pain. We ended up parked somewhere and just talked. We talked for a long while. More than we had in a long time. I got more out of that conversation than I have in the last few years. We got back home, and my other 2 kids ran to me and hugged me. Not like the side hug, but an actual hug. That felt so good. My wife approached me slowly and asked for a hug as well. I gave her half of one and she started crying. We, as a family, hung out for a while, and when bedtime came around, my wife asked to talk. She did say that she thought she was losing me around when my mom passed. That I had checked out of our marriage. But didn't go into detail. She said she is still working through some things and when she has a better understanding herself she will bring to the table. She then broke down. She said that she really didn't know how bad it was. She is sorry. But vowed to do anything she can to make it up to me and be a better partner. She is trying. I do see improvement. But why did it have to get to this point? But now I'm so numb that I keep asking myself if she really meant that or if they are just empty words. I don't know if that is the medication talking or how I'm thinking nowadays. Some days I feel like my mind is like when an old TV has the static because of bad signal. My kids overall are doing better. I still question the older ones sometimes, but I think it is me overthinking. School and activities are keeping them busy. But one thing that keeps bothering me is I can tell they are walking on eggshells around me. It bothers me. It's like I'm a jack in the box and they are waiting for me to pop out at them. Therapies is helping overall, it just takes time. My therapist said it is like I've been an actor playing a character for so long that I don't know how to be myself. I don't know if that makes sense to anyone else, but I feel the truth in it. I need to find myself first and then work on other relationships. My wife and I did go on a date. She planned it, and it was fun. I had a genuine smile. But in the back of my mind, I was wondering if this was for me or for the US? I am not sure what will happen in the future. Time will tell.